Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's my guy knows a guy on NBA betting today here on the SportX Insights YouTube channel. We're getting ready for another day of NBA action, Sunday, February 27th. Sorry for the slight delay. Really exciting night last night. I enjoyed what I saw. The Grizzlies got it done. I said it wasn't going to be easy, but they had the intangibles to get it done. What a game last night between the Grizzlies and the Bulls. The Bulls tried to pull a Chicago last night, come back from behind. They it was pretty intense at the end of the game, but the Grizzlies had just enough quality to get that done. It was a bigger bet for me than normal. We did lose earlier in the day with a freakish ending in the Pistons and the Celtics with the total. So you can't control some of the end of game antics. It's just really crazy. I think with some of the totals though, the sports books are undervaluing the explosive nature of the modern day NBA offense. And yeah, the Raptors are looking out of sorts right now with OG Anunoby. I didn't bet the Raptors. Was definitely watching that game. If I would have bet that game with Fred VanVleet and Siakam randomly being activated later in the day, I probably would have bet the Raptors if it was the only game on. But just to see them regress and take a step backwards after the All-Star break without OG Anunoby is it further validates how important he is to the team. But yeah, we're gonna get started. I'm actually just for now. I have one play that I'm going to share for the early slate. And if all goes well, I'll share two more that I have that I like for the evening. But there's a game earlier in the day between the Phoenix Suns and the Utah Jazz that I'm going to be betting on. Before we do get started, help the video get 100 likes and leave a comment with your favorite pick after the video. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I hope everyone has a great day. Let's keep it going. The Grizzlies did as well. Yesterday. Also, one other note, join me on Twitter Spaces today. I'm going to host a Twitter Spaces in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, where you can come through, share your picks, and hear some of the other bright minds. The last two nights, they've been going crazy the last two nights. So let's try to keep it going. Every day is a new day. Every sporting outcome is a completely different outcome. And let's get into the games. So for now, the game that I'm going to key in on is the matchup between the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns. Like I said, one second. I thought it froze. We have the lineups on the screen. As we can see, the quality of the shot attempts that the Suns have been getting since Chris Paul's injury has not been the same. The assist to three-point made, which is a more advanced metric, is definitely sliding for the Suns as well. This is a no-brainer. It's common sense. We know Chris Paul's assists usually lead to high-quality shot attempts, high-quality three-point attempts, and corner threes, especially for the style of play that the Suns like to run. You look at the psychology of the Phoenix Suns team, that locker room, these players. You go back to the bubble. This was a team that has been ascendant since the bubble. We all know this, largely due to the acquisition of Chris Paul. But they're trying to prove that their success is not fully linked to Chris Paul. But I think that's a tough sell. I think that's a tough sell because Chris Paul is the one player that I really do feel he's not going to win the actual award, but top 5 MVP votes. When you look at the value that he adds to the Suns, they should be talking about Chris Paul for at least getting some top 5 MVP votes amongst the media members this season. So, then you look at a player like DeAndre Ayton. This period going up into the playoffs is a highly observational period for the Suns front office. They're collecting as much data and information as they can as to whether or not they want to throw the max contract at DeAndre Ayton after this season. Remember that they chose to wait. They chose to wait with DeAndre Ayton. So this is a trying time for DeAndre Ayton to show his value, provide his value without CP3 being there. He's going up against Rudy Gobert tonight. Stiff opposition. The Utah Jazz, in their own right, they failed to cover their last 2 games. They played the LA Lakers, the Dallas Mavericks. They actually heavily out-rebounded the Mavs the other night and got the outright win, but they didn't cover the point spread. The Jazz are a team that I think is going to turn it on in the second half of the season. I have them listed as a team that should get back the Jazz, a couple of other teams as well, if you were on the live stream yesterday. That's right. So the Utah Jazz are a team that still has a quality roster. When you look at the contracts on this team, the age of some of the key players on this team, this is a core that's not going to be together for much longer. I still think that they have a chance to make a run, just because a lot of what's been going on with the Jazz so far this season has been due to health as well. There are some locker room issues, but then we know Rudy Gobert missed a lot of time as well. So going into today's matchup, I think this is going to be a prove it sort of game for the Utah Jazz. The odds are indicative to me of the Jazz getting a victory today against the Phoenix Suns. And I've actually already bet the money line on the Utah Jazz, but it's getting out of hand. I still like the Jazz -2 in this scenario. I rarely bet against the Phoenix Suns. I just think that they're going to regress just a bit without CP3. And this is a Jazz team that hasn't won in Phoenix for quite some time. I feel like this game is, I'm not going to call it more important game to the Jazz because the Suns have a lot to prove. They're trying to prove a lot, but I just feel like at the point guard position, Aaron Holiday is questionable as well. They're going to be even thinner at the point guard spot, and I just feel like the quality shot attempts, if the Jazz come with their A game defense, the quality shot attempts may not be there for the Suns over the course of 4 quarters. Both teams are coming off losses ATS, and I don't want to just lean on Chris Paul alone as the reason for this game. A lot of it has to do with the odds movement, and the fact that the Jazz are now favored, that they were so close to even at the open. It really does show you the value of Chris Paul. Just before the All-Star break, if these two teams would have played each other in a similar state, it would have probably been Suns -6. Suns -6 or Suns -5.5, right? So it shows you the immense value of Chris Paul. And Keith, I see you in the chat as well. I want to remind everyone as well, there's a free $50 bet to use on SportX.bet. It's actually being airdropped to everyone's accounts on March 2nd. So you have time to click the link and try out the platform. If you're from outside the US and have access to SportX.bet, click the link in the description and you will get a free $50 bet airdrop to your account. Definitely check that out. And as I said, the link is in the description. So my pick today is going to be the Utah Jazz. I like them on the money line in this early game. And I also like them -2 as well to get it done against the Phoenix Suns. I'm probably going to be sharing some props for this evening. Join us on Twitter Spaces at 3 p.m. Eastern. Right now, I'm just kind of focused on this Suns game in the early afternoon. I don't feel too comfortable betting against the Suns because I know that they're a resilient group. I know that they're a team that is able to bounce back big after losing at home the way they did against the Pelicans. But I give a slight edge to the Jazz, and this is one of the instances where I agree with the odds makers. And I wish I could have got ahead of this even more for everyone who does like the Jazz. Because I did take the money line just before the live stream, but that's all for today on NBA betting today. And I wish everyone the best of luck. For me, Utah Jazz today. Follow me on Twitter at MyGuyKnowsAGuy. Visit SportX.bet, the crypto sportsbook owned by its community, and check out SportX Project on Twitter. I'm actually going to get ready to watch Chelsea, Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. It's a pretty big match to me. There's a lot going on today. Best of luck, and join us on Twitter Spaces. I'll have some more thoughts, or check me out on Twitter for the rest of the games. Best case scenario, I could always come back again on YouTube for the evening slate, but I'm locked in for the early game. Have some interesting thoughts for the later games, and maybe a pick or two to add as well. Help the video get as many likes as possible so as many people can see the message as possible. And enjoy your day, everyone.